Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of convincing us that we are too far gone, that the mistakes we've made, the things we've endured, and the detours we've taken have somehow stripped us of our purpose. But I want you to know today that no matter what you've been through, no matter how broken or lost you feel, it's still you, the real you, the you that God intended, the you that was fearfully and wonderfully made. See, life will try to tell you otherwise. It will throw challenges at you that make you question your worth. You'll hear voices, some internal, some external, telling you that you're not enough, that you've missed your moment, that the version of you who dared to dream, to believe it, to hope is gone. But let me remind you of this: the essence of who you are cannot be erased. You are not defined by the detours. You are not defined by the mistakes. You are not defined by the opinions of others. Some of you are carrying wounds right now that feel unbearable, wounds from relationships that didn't last, opportunities you didn't take, or losses that still linger in the corners of your heart. But let me tell you something, your scars are not a sign of defeat. They are a testament to your resilience. They are proof that you've survived what was meant to destroy you. And even though it hurt, even though it shook you, you're still standing. And because you're still standing, there's still work for you to do. The world wants to convince you that your worth is tied to how perfect your life looks. But let me tell you, perfection is a lie. Your worth is rooted in something deeper, in who you were created to be. You were made with intention. You were crafted with purpose. The dreams that God placed in your heart, they are still there, waiting for you to breathe life into them again. Now, I know it's hard. I know it's hard to see yourself as enough when life has torn you down. But today is the day you decide to take back your power. It's the day you stop shrinking to fit into spaces you've outgrown. It's the day you stop apologizing for being who you are. The road ahead won't always be easy, but the strength you need is already within you. You may feel like you've lost your way, but I promise you this, it's still you. The you that God called to greatness, the you that was made for more, the you that has the power to rise again, no matter how many times life tries to knock you down. So don't let your past define you. Don't let your pain consume you. And don't let your fears stop you, because it's still you, the dreamer, the fighter, the survivor, the believer. It's still you. And it's time to step into everything you were always meant to be. How often do we look in the mirror and see not who we truly are, but a distorted version of ourselves, a version clouded by the expectations of others, the weight of our past, or the lies we've chosen to believe about our worth? But let me tell you something today. The person you are deep down, the one beneath the layers of doubt and fear, is extraordinary. It's time to embrace that person. It's time to embrace your authentic self. There's a power that comes when you recognize that you were never meant to be anyone else. The world is full of noise, full of people telling you who you should be, what you should do, and how you should live. But the truth is, you were designed with a specific purpose, a unique set of gifts, and an identity that no one else can replicate. When you try to fit into someone else's mold, you diminish the light that's already inside of you. You lose touch with the very essence that makes you special. Think about this. No one else has lived your life. No one else has walked your path, felt your pain, or dreamed your dreams. Your dreams, your journey with all its highs and lows, is what shapes the incredible person you are today. And yet so many of us spend our lives trying to hide that journey. We cover up the parts of ourselves we think are unworthy, broken, or unlovable. But those parts, they are what make you real. They are what make you relatable, resilient, and remarkable. Embracing your authentic self is not about perfection, it's about truth. It's about owning who you are, the good, the bad, and everything in between. It's about standing in front of the world and saying, this is me, I'm flawed, but I'm enough. I'm growing, but I'm worthy. I'm imperfect, but I'm still deserving of love, success, and every blessing that comes my way. And let me tell you, the moment you step into that truth, everything changes. You begin to walk differently. You begin to talk differently. You stop seeking validation from people who don't even know your worth. You stop comparing yourself to others, realizing that their journey has nothing to do with your destiny. You find peace in knowing that being you is not only enough, it's exactly what this world needs. You were not created to live a life of self-doubt and insecurity. You were created to thrive, to shine, and to make a difference in the way only you can. So stop hiding. Stop shrinking. Stop pretending to be something you're not. The world doesn't need a copy of someone else. It needs the original masterpiece that is you. When you embrace your authentic self, you give others permission to do the same. You become a light in a world that desperately needs more authenticity, more vulnerability, and more truth. You show people that it's okay to be real, to be flawed, and to still rise above it all. And in doing so, you become a force of hope, strength, and inspiration. So today I urge you to take a deep breath and let go of everything that's holding you back. Let go of the need to be perfect, the fear of being judged, and the pressure to be anything other than who you are. Embrace the person God created you to be. Embrace your story, your scars, your strength, and your light. Because when you do, you'll discover that the life you've been longing for was within you all along. It's time to embrace your authentic self. Healing from past pain is one of the most challenging yet transformative journeys we can embark upon. Pain, whether emotional, physical, or spiritual, has a way of gripping us tightly, whispering lies that will never be free from its grasp. It convinces us that our brokenness defines us, that our missteps disqualify us, and that the hurt we've endured will always overshadow the light within us. But I'm here to tell you, pain is not the end of your story. It's simply a chapter, a part of your testimony that holds power when you choose to face it, learn from it, and ultimately rise above it. We live in a world that often encourages us to ignore our pain, to suppress it, or to pretend it never happened. Just move on, they say, as if it's that simple. But healing doesn't come from ignoring your wounds. It comes from addressing them with honesty, with courage, and with grace. You have to be willing to look at the parts of your life that hurt the most and confront them head on. Not to relive the pain, but to understand it. To see the lesson it carries and the strength it has built within you. Your pain is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign that you've lived, that you've cared, and that you've been vulnerable. And while vulnerability can sometimes lead to hurt, it's also where we find our deepest strength. Healing requires you to take that vulnerability and transform it into power. It's about acknowledging that, yes, what you went through was hard, maybe even devastating, but it didn't destroy you. You're still here, and because you're still here, there's a greater purpose waiting for you on the other side of your healing. The scars you carry are not something to be ashamed of. They're a testament to your survival. They show that you've been through the fire and emerged stronger. You may have felt broken at times, but brokenness doesn't have to be permanent. Think about a piece of gold that's been refined. It has to go through intense heat to remove impurities, but once it's been refined, it shines brighter than ever. That's what healing does. It refines you. It burns away the lies, the fears, and the doubts, leaving you with a clarity and strength you never knew you had. Healing also requires forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is the one staring back at you in the mirror. You may be holding on to guilt, shame, or regret over decisions you made or opportunities you missed, but carrying that weight only holds you back. Forgiveness is not about saying that what happened was okay. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of resentment and blame. It's about releasing the burden so you can step into a life of peace and possibility. Remember, healing is not a destination, it's a journey. There will be days when the pain feels overwhelming, and there will be days when you feel like you've made significant progress. Both are part of the process. Celebrate the small victories, because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to wholeness. Surround yourself with people who encourage your healing, who remind you of your worth, and who support you in becoming the person you're meant to be. And as you heal, remember this: your story is not just for you. Your pain, your scars, and your triumphs can be a source of hope for someone else. When you share your journey, you give others permission to start their own. You remind them that healing is possible, that brokenness can be transformed, and that life after pain can be even more beautiful than they imagined. Healing from past pain is an act of courage. It's an act of faith. And it's a declaration that you refuse to let what hurts you hold you back any longer. You are more than your pain. You are stronger than your scars. And the best part of your story is still unfolding. Reclaiming your worth is not about finding something new. It's about rediscovering what was always there. Too often, life can wear us down to the point where we forget who we are. We get caught up in the opinions of others, the expectations of society, and the mistakes we've made. But let me tell you something powerful. Your worth was never dependent on external circumstances. Your worth is rooted in who you are, not in what you've done or what others think of you. Somewhere along the way, you might have started to believe the lie that you're not enough. Maybe someone told you that you weren't smart enough, strong enough, or capable enough. Maybe life threw challenges your way that made you doubt your value. But let me remind you, no person, no situation, no mistake has the authority to diminish your worth. You were created with intention, and your value is inherent. We live in a world that constantly tries to measure us by metrics that don't matter, by the size of our bank accounts, the number of followers we have, or the titles we hold. But those things don't define you. What defines you is the heart you bring to the world, the courage you show in the face of adversity, and the way you rise after every fall. Your worth is not something you have to earn. It's something you carry simply because you exist. Reclaiming your worth means rejecting the lies that have tried to keep you small. It means silencing the inner critic that tells you you're not good enough. It means standing tall even when life tries to make you feel small. When you understand your worth, you begin to walk differently. You stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop allowing others to dictate your value. You stop living in fear of what might go wrong and start embracing the possibilities of what can go right. But reclaiming your worth is not always easy. It requires you to confront the parts of yourself that you've tried to hide. It asks you to face the pain you've buried and the insecurities you've carried. It's not about pretending to have it all together. It's about being honest with yourself and recognizing that your worth was never in question, even when you doubted it the most. Every single one of us has something unique to offer the world. There's no one else who can bring what you bring. Your gifts, your talents, your experiences, they all make you who you are. And the world needs what you have to give. But before you can share your gifts with the world, you have to believe in them yourself. You have to believe that you are enough, that you have something valuable to contribute, and that your presence matters. When you reclaim your worth, you stop seeking validation from the wrong places. You stop trying to prove yourself to people who were never meant to see your greatness. Instead, you start to validate yourself. You start to remind yourself that you are worthy of love, respect, and success, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Reclaiming your worth is a declaration to the world that you refuse to shrink any longer. It's a commitment to showing up fully, even when it's scary. It's a decision to honor yourself, even when others fail to do so. Because when you know your worth, you become unstoppable. You start to dream bigger, love deeper, and live more authentically. So today I challenge you to take a moment and remind yourself of your worth. Look in the mirror and see the person who has overcome so much. See the strength, the resilience, and the beauty that exists within you. And as you reclaim your worth, remember this: no one can take from you what was divinely given. You are enough, always have been, always will be. Stepping into your power is not an easy journey, but it is a necessary one. It means looking at every piece of who you are, the broken pieces, the parts you've hidden, and the moments you've been most proud of, and claiming all of it, exciting, all of it is yours. It means standing in the truth of who you are without apology, without hesitation, and without fear. It's the realization that everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. The good, the bad, and the in-between, all of it has been shaping you, sharpening you, and molding you into the person you were destined to be. Power isn't about perfection, and it isn't about control. It's about alignment. It's about aligning your heart, your mind, and your spirit with the purpose you were created for. Too often, we wait for the perfect circumstances to step into our power. We tell ourselves, once I've healed from this, or when I've achieved that, or if things were different, I'd finally be ready. But let me tell you, the moment to step into your power isn't somewhere in the future. It's right now. It's in the middle of the chaos, the uncertainty, and even the fear. Because your power isn't something you have to earn, it's something you already possess. You just have to own it. Sometimes we hesitate to embrace our power because we're afraid of what it might require of us. We know it will demand courage, it will demand discipline, it will demand that we let go of the excuses that have kept us comfortable. Stepping into your power might mean walking away from relationships that no longer serve you, or breaking free from mindsets that have kept you stuck. It might mean challenging the narratives that have told you you're not enough or you don't deserve this. But every step you take away from what holds you back is a step closer to the freedom, the joy, and the impact you were meant to have. Your power isn't just about you. It's about the lives you were created to touch, the people who are waiting for you to show up fully so they can find the courage to do the same. When you step into your power, you create a ripple effect. Your confidence inspires someone else to believe in themselves. Your perseverance shows someone else that it's possible to overcome. Your authenticity gives someone else permission to be real. This is bigger than you, and that's why it's so important. It's time to silence the voices that tell you to stay small. The world doesn't need you to dim your light, it needs you to shine. It needs your voice, your vision, and your unique gifts. Stepping into your power means deciding that you are worthy of the opportunities that come your way. It means recognizing that the calling on your life is not accidental, and that you have everything you need to fulfill it. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to take the first step, and then the next, and the next, and then the next. This journey won't always be comfortable. There will be moments when you'll want to retreat, when the weight of stepping into your power feels too heavy to carry. But remember this: you were built for this. Every trial you faced, every challenge you've overcome has been preparing you. The strength you need is already within you. The courage you seek is already there. You just have to claim it. You don't have to wait for someone to give you permission to be powerful. You don't need anyone's approval to walk in your calling. The only permission you need is your own. So decide today to step fully into the person you were created to be. Not tomorrow, not when it feels easier today. Because the world is waiting for you. It's waiting for the version of you who is bold enough to step forward and say, I am here. I am ready. I am enough. As we come to the end of this message, let me remind you of one powerful truth that's still you. It has always been you. The strength, the courage, the vision, it's all within you, waiting for you to tap into it. Life will throw challenges your way. Doubts will creep in and fear will whisper lies in your ear. But don't let those voices define you. The same person who survived the storms of yesterday is the one who will thrive in the victories of tomorrow. This is your time. Step boldly into your power. Refuse to let past mistakes, temporary setbacks, or the opinions of others keep you from becoming all that you were created to be. Your journey has equipped you with everything you need to stand tall, to shine brightly, and to claim the life that's been waiting for you. So take a deep breath, let go of the fear. Silence the doubt and say to yourself, I am ready to walk fully in who I am, because the world doesn't need a smaller version of you, it needs the fullness of who you are. You are stronger than you know, more capable than you believe, and destined for greater things than you can imagine. Now go out there and live it.